everyone. Welcome to episode number 19 of Rush Roundtable. Today we have quite the cast of characters that we'll call, what would be our band name? Gangsters of Boats?
I'm good with that.
Sure.
D.O.B.
God.
So this is episode number 19. We're going to be discussing Rush instrumentals. So we have gone through, we each have ranked our favorite, just in order of favorites, preference, our instrumentals. We will be reading those from bottom to top in a few moments. But first, just going to go through and tell you a song that we're currently hooked on, or a song that we want to give a shout out to this week, and our three guests that we have on have all been on before, but they can just simply give a very brief introduction if they want. So we'll start, we'll go youngest first. We'll start with Ryan.
Ryan, a song that I'm currently hooked on is Peaceable Kingdom. Love that song. Just Vapor Trails I've been listening to a lot of. I think like the vocals and the instruments, they just go so well together, and I love the little like vocalizing that Geddy Lee does in that whole like at the beginning of How It Is and stuff. It's just very unique and stuff.
Great album.
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah, so I'm currently obsessed with La Villa Strangiato, but off the A Show of Hands live.
That's a good one.
I love the like the Alex introduction that they blurred out or whatever, and I don't know, I just think that sounds really cool. So, and it fits this time of year for some reason too. I don't know why.
Gerry.
Well, Steve and I are preparing our episode on Hemispheres, so I've been listening to Hemispheres song. I think I listened to it twice today.
That's my favorite song ever.
Yeah,
Really.
it's an amazing song.
Twice. That's like whole afternoon.
Yeah, I had to get out of the house. I'm like, I have to go prepare for my podcast, so I'm going to drive around for an hour and a half.
It's a great way to spend your time.
Oh yeah.
All right, so ladies. Kira.
Okay, so I've been hooked on Natural Science from Permanent Ways. Love that song. And I've also been hooked on Feeling Unlimited from Vapor Trails.
Kate.
Actually, Limbo, but I won't say too much about it because we will be discussing that in this episode.
Chris.
It's funny, Limbo as well, because I rediscovered a live version. I think it was from the Molson Amphitheater, correct me if I'm wrong, or if they played it on the Presto Tour, I forget which one, but it was ripping live. I thought it was so good, it turned me back onto it. And The Past still, for like 5 months. I get hooked on some songs for months on end. I don't know why.
For me, I had Before and After stuck in my head over the weekend. And also these guys, Gerry and Steve, listening to their Feral the Kings Part 2 podcast today. Today is March 30th. And got rehooked on Cinderella Man because of that. So, thanks, guys.
Hey, I'm glad we could help.
All right, so we'll go. I guess let's just go in the same order. We'll go through our instrumental rankings. We basically all ranked the instrumentals in order of personal preference. Just first, going to read off the master list in order of release, or chronological order. So La Villa Strangiato, YYZ, or as the Canadians say, YYZ. Where's My Thing? Leave That Thing Alone. Limbo, The Main Monkey Business, Hope, and Malignant Narcissism. So Ryan, why don't you go ahead from bottom to top, from 8 to 1 in order of least favorite to most favorite. Go ahead and read your list out.
Okay, so my least favorite is probably Hope. It's because it's just only guitar. I mean, it's like, I love that song, but, you know. Okay, so Hope, Limbo, The Main Monkey Business, Malignant Narcissism, Leave That Thing Alone, Where's My Thing, La Villa Strangiato, and YYZ. YYZ.
You're just smiling at him like, oh.
All right. Nick, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Put my list real quick. Okay, so my list is whoops, I passed it. Hold on. So my list starts out with, if this thing will cooperate with me, there we go. Malignant Narcissism, YYZ, Where's My Thing, Hope, Leave That Thing Alone, The Main Monkey Business, Limbo, and La Villa Strangiato. And are we just gonna discuss all these after we all go through?
Yeah, we'll go through in order and discuss, or maybe we'll go from earliest. We'll go backwards in time. We'll discuss after. But Gerry?
Well, bottom up, it's Limbo, Where's My Thing, Leave That Thing Alone, The Main Monkey Business, Malignant Narcissism, Hope, YYZ, and La Villa Strangiato.
Kira?
Okay, so from bottom to top, I got Hope, Malignant Narcissism, that's a hard word to say, Limbo, The Main Monkey Business, Where's My Thing, YYZ, Leave That Thing Alone, and La Villa Strangiato.
Kate?
We're starting at the bottom. Hope, like young Ryan said, it's a great song, but, you know, all Rush is good Rush, as we say on every episode, but it's just guitar, so, you know, it has to go last for me anyway. Malignant Narcissism, Where's My Thing, The Main Monkey Business, Leave That Thing Alone, YYZ, Limbo, and La Villa Strangiato.
Chris?
Bottom up, I did Limbo, Hope, The Main Monkey Business, Malignant Narcissism, Where's My Thing, Leave That Thing Alone, La Villa Strangiato, and YYZ.
So my list was Hope, Limbo, Malignant Narcissism, Leave That Thing Alone, YYZ, Where's My Thing, The Main Monkey Business, and La Villa Strangiato. And I'll also read Pat's, who couldn't make it tonight, but he still did a list. So Pat's was Hope, YYZ, Malignant Narcissism, La Villa Strangiato, Where's My Thing, Leave That Thing Alone, Limbo, and The Main Monkey Business. And I'm going to go on a limb here. Pat was trying to avoid this conversation because he put La Villa 5th.
How dare
What
he?
was that?
Yeah, he put La Villa 5th. Yeah.
I thought I misheard you.
No.
Seems
I think he's purposely avoiding us so he doesn't have to explain why he put La Villa 5th.
he might just trying to be a contrarian.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
So Pat.
Yeah, La Villa did not make it out of anyone's top 2. So, and it looks like it was first for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. And Hope was last also for 5 of us. But
I'll be the sole defender of Hope.
Oh, I like that song a lot.
I love it.
I love it.
yeah.
I like it better than Malignant Narcissism, to be honest.
I think it's one of the few soothing songs they did, other than like Resist acoustically in Rio or something like that. I think it's really pretty. It's just Alex.
I like it a lot too. Actually, story time, but when I was in color guard for one of my auditions, I actually used Hope as my song.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really like Himalayan kind of. It sounds like
Yeah.
I'm going to Asia or something.
Yeah, it does.
Something I'm listening to climbing Mount Everest or something.
I learned parts of it on guitar. It was awesome.
Side note here, I wish O'Reilly's, I can't remember the full name, but Alex's guitar solo from the Time Machine tour, I wish he would have put that on like Clockwork Angels, because I actually like that solo better than Hope.
That was
I
the
think
prelude, to Closer to the Heart.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
beautiful with the double string or whatever
Ball
yeah,
string.
Yeah. beautiful.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And I was there when they recorded it, so
Oh,
I've actually seen the only live song I've not seen on this list is Limbo, and that's it.
yeah, me too.
All right, well, let's talk about it. Let's start at the bottom. We'll go from Snakes and Arrows back, only because La Villa and YYZ will save those for last. So Malignant Narcissism. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of Malignant Narcissism?
It's short.
It is short.
It is very short, but it definitely packs a punch from beginning to end.
Yeah, really ripping.
The bass in that is just mind blowing.
And the drums are really heavy, hardcore in that.
Yeah.
It kind of had like a YYZ pattern where it went to like the guitar to the bass and then like the guitar to the drums.
That alternation is shared with YYZ, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think they did that after, I don't know if you guys saw the documentary when they took Neil Peart's kit out of the studio completely and he had only the little practice kit. Thank you. Sorry. And he just did it on the little kit he had with a jam with Getty, and that's how it started. It was well after the drums were done being recorded.
Yeah, well, I was just about to read this. This piece was one of the last written for the album and was nominated for 2008 Grammy for Rock Instrumental. The inspiration for the title came from a dialogue in Team America World Police. In that film, the psychological... all right. The psychological term malignant narcissism is used in reference to Islamic terrorists. The only voice heard in the piece is from an audio sample taken from the film, appearing at 108 in the song, featuring a female voice saying, "Usually a case of malignant narcissism is brought on during childhood."
Wow.
It's a good movie.
Wow. That's quite an inspiration.
They're so amazing. They're so amazing.
So on Fourth of
And-
The
July,
marionette movie.
that's the Rush song to play.
Yeah, and I have one thing to add. Malignant Narcissism and I think 7 Cities of Gold are like the first Rush songs I've actually ever heard
Really?
or something. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's weird. Like heard of. It's weird.
All right, so moving on, Hope. So let's discuss Hope. I mean, personally, yeah, I mean, I think it's fantastic. I think it's just best live. I mean, just
Me too.
Oh,
Snakes
yeah.
and Arrows.
It's a really beautiful song. I know I put it last, but I still love it. I just happen to like the others better. But it's kind of like the song that's in the middle of like Snakes and Arrows that doesn't really get talked about enough, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I just love like I just love the solo. There's just something about this just so soothing.
Yeah.
Lovely. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, totally underrated.
Yeah, 6 Hours like 3 instrumentals. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
Wasn't
Why-
that supposed to be dedicated to Alex's mom? Like at the time she was battling cancer, I think.
Hope?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
Wow.
dedicated to his mom or something.
No kidding.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact story, but I remember. I mean, granted, I was in high school when Hope came out, so I was still kind of like, they didn't have as much information out there. But I remember it being dedicated to somebody and was inspired by some relative. So
Yeah, I just love to watch or hear Alex, show his chops. He has a lot of classical, influences in his playing, and to hear him play a 12-string like that is
It's a treat.
mind-blowing. Because as an amateur guitarist myself, it's an impressive thing to listen to.
like I said before, though, I really wish they would have put O'Reilly's. I can't remember the full name of that
I
solo.
think it was
like that.
O'Malley's something, wasn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
that would-
Yeah.
I wish they would have put that on an album because Hope's great, but I think that's the better acoustic solo. I really do. And it's a shame they didn't record it, but thankfully they record. It's on the live version. So
I think that was something he kind of changed up every night before he started Close to the Heart. He would just jam out a little bit,
O'Malley's Break is what it's called on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was Neil's break from his drum solo.
Yeah. And he was O'Malley in the
In the
intros,
video, yeah.
The cop. Yep.
I also want to mention Brune's Bane because that's another
Yes,
instrument that I
very good.
absolutely love,
Yep.
but it's not on the list, obviously. But I do love that song.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. This list, of course, was
I
studio
forgot.
instrumentals, but yeah.
That is it.
Wait, what's that one called? Like Dare Trumla or?
Well, that's a drum solo, I thought.
That's yeah.
Yeah, Tremblay.
So Hope is actually also the shortest Rush piece on any album.
Yeah, it is.
Wait,
Which
what
was?
about BU2B2? BU2B2. Isn't that like minute?
Yeah, that is like a minute.
Ooh, he's got you there. Kid
That's
knows his
true.
stuff.
You got
True.
it. You got
Pinning
it.
you down, Ryan.
Listen, I'm just reading from this website.
They consider
But
part of,
he is right.
Hmm.
What's that? Go ahead, Nick.
I considered it part of, but I forgot there was a second part to that song. I completely slipped my mind. So,
What
Yeah.
song did you say was the shortest, Ryan?
This Hope.
BU2B2.
Right.
Other Ryan.
So, like,
No. I meant Murphy, but
Oh, Hope. It says the 2-minute instrumental for a 12-string guitar by Alex is the shortest Rush piece on any album.
maybe
I
this
just-
was released before like Clockwork
That's what I was
Orange.
just gonna say. That was probably written before Clockwork Orange came out.
I don't know if I consider BU2B2 a real song. Is
I
it?
don't consider it to be a song either,
Yeah,
really.
no, I don't.
Well, they
It's-
didn't
I don't know
say
what you call it.
But it is its own track, yes.
Yeah, it's almost just filler, I guess, or just contributing to the story. But
Right.
all right, so let's move on to the main monkey business. This is my second favorite, and this is Pat's first favorite. I love this, especially the live version of it. From I think a bit of recording. I think it's a fantastic instrumental. I think it's
And Snakes and Arrows, right?
Snake Road. Yeah, I think it's the first of 3 instrumentals on Snake and Arrows. I think it's the best one.
I agree.
Yeah, it's my favorite out of all the Snakes and Arrows instrumentals. They really killed it with the instrumentals
Yeah,
on
they
that
really
album.
did. Awesome stuff.
When I like ask my like Google Assistant, I'm like shuffle Rush, and the first song that comes on is The Monkey Business. It's just like,
The solo and the drum parts in that last half are amazing. Really heavy stuff.
yeah, the first time I listened to it, I actually didn't like it, but now I like it.
Yeah,
It was really cool live.
yeah, it was.
It was
Yeah.
cool seeing it live in Toronto in 2008 because a big group of people in the crowd had little inflatable monkeys that they just pulled out of nowhere for that song.
Oh my
And
gosh.
It's awesome.
And it was so cool. Like
I love that.
yeah, it was really
I forgot about the inflatable beach balls with monkeys painted on them in 2007 in Pittsburgh, which was my first Rush concert, and they were throwing those beach balls, and I was trying to catch one to keep it, but
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The internal debate. Do you continue to hit it, or do you just keep it for yourself, right?
Yeah.
So this says here. So Ryan, maybe you can correct me again. I don't know, but this
He will.
This piece, this piece is the first of 3 instrumentals on Snakes and Arrows. Geddy, Alex, and Neil played together as an ensemble during the recording to capture the feeling of a live performance. The title comes from an exchange Geddy had with his mother. So I think that's pretty
Yes. My mom told me the whole story about that. The cute story.
What's the story?
Okay,
Yeah,
so like
I've not seen
basically,
that. You should go ahead.
I'll give you the short version, but basically they were like having a conversation and Guy was like saying like, you know, what's up? And his mom is like the monkey business, and he's like, what are you talking about? She's like, the main monkey business, and that's like how he like. It was like some funny like conversation that they had, but that's how it ended. His mom wouldn't tell him what was going on. It was just like, oh, it's just like the usual like monkey business. So that's where he got the song. That's what my mom told me.
Did Snakes and Arrows come out around Beyond the Lighted Stage? It was right before,
it
right?
was before.
It was
2 or
before
3 years.
because
years.
Wait a second.
Hey, wasn't
It-
there like
It
20
describes the story here, by the way.
yeah.
I'll read it in a second. Go ahead, Ryan.
Wait, wasn't when did Beyond the Lighted Stage come up? Was that 2013?
2010, I think.
Yeah.
10 or 11, yeah.
It's 2010.
Yeah, that was.
I
around
watched
the-
it on
the Time
MTV when
Machine.
it came out.
Hey, so did I.
On
Yep,
Netflix.
me too.
Hey,
I watched it like 8 times.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I've
so
watched
it's
it probably
titled-
like 20.
The title of the main monkey business comes from a conversation Getty had with his Polish mother, talking about a cousin of theirs. She said, "I have a feeling he's up to some monkey business." Getty laughed, saying, "What kind of monkey business?" She said, with old world wisdom, the main monkey business. Everybody knows about that. So Kira was spot on. But that's the quotes there. So anything else you guys want to say about the main monkey business?
No, just a really solid track, you know.
Great song to listen to when you're on the runway about to depart on an airplane.
Ooh.
I don't know why. Every time I'm on an airplane, I always pull that song.
You've got a song for like every location, like every.
Yeah.
I do. There's more songs on here. I'm gonna bring it up.
I get that. I'm
Red
the same way.
Marchetta, you said is perfect for your boat or something like that on the last one you want.
Limbo.
Oh yeah, Limbo. Yeah, perfect segue. Limbo.
Yeah.
So Nick, take it away.
Yeah, so I love Limbo. It's the only Rush instrumental I've not seen live, but it's such a good like summer song. I think that live at the Molson Amphitheater from 1990, I think it was like 97, honestly. I think that Chris mentioned earlier. I love that. That is so good.
That's a solid track.
It's boat music. I mean, I play it all. That's like one of the first tracks as I get on the water, put my rod, line in the water, and I'm just in heaven. So.
You could hear the chains. Like, it's very marine, maritime, you know.
Oh yeah.
I
Very
get that.
Kind of have I don't know. It's just like whenever I listen to it, I have like this imagery in my mind of the sea and like the calm of like the sea being out on a summer day. I don't know. It's just a really fun song. It's got a good like beat to it too.
Oh yeah. Great driving rhythm. In my opinion,
Yeah.
the drums are some of the most complex drum parts Neil has ever came up with, in my opinion.
Well, that was right after he had just trained with Buddy.
Freddie Gruber.
Freddie Gruber, that's it.
Yeah, Freddie. Yeah.
Buddy
So-
Rich.
Thing and everything. So.
Yeah. Really intense intro. Really cool.
So this freeform instrumental was born out of takes that were in Limbo. Whatever Happened to My Transylvania Twist is sampled from Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Keepers' Monster Mash. These references might have been inspired by the Frankenstein-like arrangement. That's the one piece of audio that you hear in there that's
Yeah, I think that's my main concern about the song is that it is pieces of other songs. So while they're stitched together well, for me it doesn't hang together well.
right.
That's fair.
Likewise.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
What do you mean, Gerry? How do you mean it's other songs stitched together?
I think the song was created from abandoned pieces of other instrumentals or just other
Gotcha.
pieces of songs that they had
Ideas.
ideas for.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't, they just kind of, they didn't throw it together, of course. They put it together,
Right.
and just doesn't really flow.
It's
As, like,
definitely
why would
abstract.
you guys-
Yeah, right.
I love it.
I do too. I think
I picked it as not my number 2.
it's a really cool piece of instrumentation. You know?
It fits the Test for Echo album too.
Yeah.
It really does fit in with the theme super well. Yeah,
Really
you're
fresh,
right. I agree.
you know?
It feels kind of like mystical. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in like a secret place or something.
Yeah.
I
First
really
reaction was just like, this is pretty cool.
There's snow on the album cover, right? Of Test for Echo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With like the rocks and everything.
It
Yeah,
says
it's a
here
little
that
rocky.
this has absolutely nothing to do with Rush Limbaugh. Play on the
That's
words
funny.
for Rush Limbaugh. But for me, so I kind of, in my mind, I kind of always group Limbo, Leave That Thing Alone, and Where's My Thing, just because they're in succession in terms of albums. Yeah,
Well,
this,
it's a 90s thing too.
in those three, yeah, from Roll the Bones counterparts and Test for Echo, but not, each 90s album got an instrumental. This is far below Leave That Thing Alone and Where's My Thing, in my opinion. It just doesn't do it for me compared to those. I mean, I'll gladly listen to it over any other band, but
Right.
it just doesn't do it for me compared. So
Yeah, I agree with you, but I still like the song.
Oh yeah, this was really, really hard for me. Harder than any other ranking I had to do.
we say that every time.
I know.
It
I
gets
know.
harder every time.
When I did this, I had to think recorded version versus live version. Because my ranking would be different if you looked at it from a live perspective, honestly.
Right, me too. And it's kind of the way I look at the ranking is different every time. From live, the way I appreciate them perform live, or what they meant to me, or the order in which I loved them or learned them. Whatever.
Sure.
All different stuff.
And I'm probably putting Brune's Bane and O'Malley's Break above several of these songs, if we're being honest, if we include live.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, they have some really amazing live like instrumentals and Neil's drum solos. There's just nothing.
Oh,
like
don't
it.
get me
Oh
started.
my gosh,
Oh,
I know.
Baccarista? Are you kidding me?
I could just jam out to those all
I have his drum solos
day.
memorized. It's like crazy. But
Oh,
those are,
wow.
those are clearly not songs. But,
all right. Hey, guys, want to say anything else about Limbo before we move on to counterparts and leave that thing alone? So,
what list are you going off of, Ryan, that you're reading from? The master
I'm
list?
just going backwards in time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Master list.
Art 40 style.
Yeah, exactly. R40 style, backwards in time. For me, this was the first instrumental that I heard live because my first tour was Time Machine, and I think that thing alone was played before Love Noah and YYZ, of course, as it played the first set. But I thought if you guys remember the backdrop video that was playing during Leave That Thing Alone.
Oh, yeah.
Super interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Really, you'd have to, maybe we'll have to have Alex at it. To give you
Seahorses.
an idea.
Mhm.
Do it was seahorses?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Mm. I remember distinctively the Russian Rio version.
Yes.
That's really weird.
That is that's a
The background video for that one's really odd.
Yeah.
I love it, but
Yeah. Yeah, I also heard it first on Time Machine, and that was really, the bass line in that is awesome. And they usually tie it in with Neil's drum solos in past
Mhm.
tunes. But
Yeah, I put Leave That Thing Alone as my number 2 because I just love like the bass line and Alex's solo, and that is just so rich.
very
Awesome to see
intricately,
live. Yes, very intricately woven into Getty's bass line.
yes.
It's fantastic.
The intro's mind blowing. I mean, like,
Yes.
I think some of Getty's best work as like a bassist is in Counterparts. Like, if you really listen
yeah.
to Counterparts,
Oh, yeah.
that's like the best like Getty lead like bass like. And even in
Just
like,
a note, is no one going to mention the awesome background all of a sudden?
I was gonna, but and you know what? The bass solo at the end in the Time Machine tour live, greatest I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like that.
Mhm.
I have to rewatch it. I'm like every time. It's really
Well, you have to remember that album is the album they finally, like, they had no synth of any kind or anything. Getty was just straight bass the whole time, because that
back
was,
to basics.
yeah, back to basics. So that's why the bass is so heavy, and why Getty on that whole album is just tearing it up.
yeah.
The
And
same
also,
could be said about Alex, I think, too, on that
Yeah.
same album.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember on Beyond the Lighted Stage where like they said like Counterparts turned out to be like everything they wanted to be like. Just,
Alex was probably really happy with the synth change.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a super underrated album.
Oh yeah.
I
love
think
Counterparts.
it's their best recorded, too. Like, in terms of sound quality. Like,
Yeah,
I,
it sounds great.
I think
Yeah.
it sounds the best. It's the most
One of the best.
most comparable to their live performances of the songs too, and Leave That Thing Alone in particular sounds pretty much identical to the live version, like the between how they filter and everything. I'm not sounding it. It just sounds to me the best recorded.
It's my mom's favorite instrumental. Leave That Thing Alone.
My dad's too.
favorite Rush song, and she's not really a Rush person, but she loves that song. So I think that's kind of funny. Like, if we're like, oh yeah, let's listen to Rush, she's like, oh, Leave That Thing Alone. And I'm like, all right, but okay.
Yeah. And about what I think Nick said about like how it's like a really underrated album. I mean, just to talk about like Cut to the Chase is probably my favorite off of the album. The
Love that
guitar solo.
Yes.
The guitar solo is my top 5 favorite probably, or like top 10. I just it starts off and ends so great. I love that song. Yeah. Counterpart should have gotten more praise. I think.
And I think that thing alone is very tropical too. There's a little tropical to it.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Well, I listened to Poolside on Vacation one time, and I always think of that now.
Here we go again.
Every place.
He's got a song for every location he's in.
I swear to God, I do. I really do.
I think we could all agree that every song and everything is underrated, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
it would never be enough ever.
So on to another instrumental with the word "thing" in the title. "Where's My Thing" from Roll the Bones.
Where is it?
That's where we got our band name from. "Where's My Thing"? Gangster Boats.
Exactly.
That's us. That's the 7 of us here.
I like that.
Gob.
So do you think there's any connection between those titles with the word "thing" in them? Is it just coincidence, or is there an actual reason why they both have "thing" in them?
I think the term thing is pretty comical as it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
knowing them, you know?
I like how it makes you wonder, like, what is it? You know, I like
Yeah.
it.
Very non-specific.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I'll just go upstairs and just say to my wife, "Hey, where's my thing?" And
Right.
she'll have no clue what I'm talking about.
I say it all the time, you know?
Yeah. Right.
Where's my thing, you know?
It's like a really fun, just like danceable kind of song. I love it.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
put it as number 4,
Yeah.
actually.
I think
It is kind of a goofy song. Like when
So
I
did
first
I.
heard it when I was 9, I'm like, wait, I don't understand.
It's cool, though.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
think,
great song.
Yeah, the synthesizers and the core in like the
Yes.
chorus. I think they're kind of like weird. I like it, but it's like it's a little different. It's like a thing. It's like a crystal.
Yes. It's got pizzazz.
Did they do that on Clockwork Angels or Up 40?
"Where's My Thing" was Clockwork Angels.
Oh.
And I'll say just a quick thing on that. If you put in the Clockwork Angels like DVD, I'm pretty certain "Where's My Thing" is the menu song that plays, and there's like a video of them playing it behind it.
Yeah.
I accidentally put the movie in and accidentally just went to go get a drink or whatever, and just "Where's My Thing" was just on repeat for like over and over again.
I wouldn't
I have the
mind.
same DVD. You're
So-
right, Ryan. I have the same.
So I just sat there and just watched "Where's My Thing" for like 30 minutes straight.
Oh, and Getty started that with the bass solo, I think, too, on the Clockwork Angels.
Yes, I think it split. I think "Where's My Thing." No, I know it did. It was the beginning of it, and then it split for a drum solo. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the drum solo's good, but the only thing that stinks is that it's the live recording. I wish they had just played the song through for the live recording. But I mean, it's a great drum solo, of course. But I just wish they would have played it through the whole way.
That's fair.
And whenever I hear that song, I can picture Alex's like long blonde hair. Like, I can picture that era of Rush with the ridiculously long hair and
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Are you talking about the drum solo where it's like?
Right.
Dude, show us your shirt too, by the way.
My shirt?
Yeah.
Ooh,
My favorite headache.
favorite headache.
favorite
Wow.
headache.
And
Nice.
yeah.
So here it says, to Gerry's point, no deep meaning here, just one of those things people say. Where's that? Oh, you know, where's my thing? For once, the lyrics are guaranteed politically correct. So,
I like that.
And it's another one that
yeah.
fits in well with the album it's on, because that whole album had a gambling theme to it, which is
Yes.
the reason why I love it
Yeah.
so much. And it just all fits in real well. So
it's a fun song.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Definitely
great
danceable.
song. Yep, like I said. Lightens the mood, too.
Yeah, well said, Kira.
Oh, thank you.
yeah, because then it gets pretty emotional after that on that album, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, so for Leave That Thing Alone, it says this instrumental is kind of a Where's My Thing sequel.
Yeah.
So it
yeah.
seems like there is some like they're tied together. Go ahead, Ryan.
If I listen to it live, it seems like in the intro you can't really hear the bass. It's like the guitar's a little too loud or something.
In Clockwork Angels?
I think so, or like I don't know, but I don't like. I think it's. I don't think.
I don't think the sound quality on Clockwork Angels DVD was what it could have been.
No,
it's not the
no.
best.
It's when I listen to it working out, I'm always like,
Yeah, compared to other things, other DVDs, it's,
oh yeah.
I don't know why, but just one of those.
All right, so YYZ, we travel to exotic places and then return home, and this instrumental is what the one-sentence description of this states. And of course, the title YYZ refers to Toronto's International Airport. It is the code that's used for pilots and the control tower. The introduction to the song is actually the Morse code readout. I'm sure all of you guys know that, but I'm here to read that out. YYZ is actually pronounced YYZ for Canadian and British way of pronouncing Z. Neil smashes quarter-inch plywood against a stool with a crashing sound effect near the end. And the loud synthesizer part is supposed to represent coming home from a long trip. According to Getty, and it is always a happy day when YYZ appears on our luggage tags. So, thoughts on YYZ, guys?
I
I
had a
put
hard
it in my
time.
top 3.
Yeah,
Love YYZ.
That was
I mean,
my favorite song for a while.
obviously Rush's most famous instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
I
Even though
put-
it's overplayed, it's one of my favorites, and I just love like the energy, especially listening to it on the Rush and Rio
Oh, I was gonna
recording.
say
The
that,
crowd
Kira.
just goes crazy, and whenever
That's-
I listen to it, I'm just like jumping up and down with them. When I first saw it when I was 6, I was actually like dancing to it. I loved it.
You stole my
Oh
thought,
my
Kira.
gosh.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
And I
I've
love
nev-
the heaviness and the fast pace. Oh,
Hardcore, man.
Total
That
gem.
is heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So, for me, the reason why this song is a little lower on my list, again, if we were talking live versions, this song would probably be like, I'd have to try to tie it with Vila. But the recorded version, I don't like the recorded version.
That's interesting.
It's not the sound quality. The problem with me with some of their early albums is it sounds almost too filtered and muffled. And I don't know, I don't get as much sound out of it. It sounds, I don't know, it doesn't sound as good, but when they play it live, then you actually hear the guitar, you have, everything's hitting harder, it's just intense, and you're just ready to jump up and down and go nuts.
That's
Rush Rio, I mean,
that's
that-
funny you say that because I most often listen to live versions of the songs. It's very rare I put on the actual recordings. Maybe it's because I feel like I'm there and I'm sold based on Rush's show and all that and my memories, whatever. And Kira saying Rush and Rio is what sold it for me as my top because obviously Livia Strangiato kicks the crap out of it as far as instrumentals go. But, or musicianship, whatever you want to say. But YYZ was like it sold me on Rush initially. That's why it's my top.
Yeah, and I could, let me tell you about this time in school. It was like 4th grade, and what you had to do was you had to pick a country out of a little bowl. I got France, and then you have to pick an Olympic sport and pick a player, and then do a video about him. So I got this French downhill skier, and then along with the skiing video, I like mixed it up and I put YYZ in it, so you could like
that's
imagine
cool.
it playing,
nice.
like
Awesome.
going up and down the hills. It was just like,
That's cool.
Bravo.
Kira.
Gerry, I think you had something to say earlier.
I was just
no.
going to say that I think that the production on Moving Pictures is probably, I think it's one of their best sounding albums, even though it does have a kind of a less, I think, dynamic range than like Hemispheres does. and that's just on my mind because I've been listening to it.
Sure.
But I love the way it's produced.
Given the technology they had at the time, the drums sound freaking awesome.
It's
Moving
very
Pictures.
full. Even though there's not a lot of range, it's very full.
Right. I mean, this is 40 years ago we're talking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And YYZ isn't just one of my favorite instrumentals. It's one of my favorite Rush songs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I tell you what, when I was in college, and that was around the time when like Guitar Hero was getting huge. So like anytime I'd hear somebody in one of the dorm rooms playing it, I'd go running down the hallway like, oh,
I have to find you.
Mode.
Yeah. I had YYZ fairly low until it came on shuffle in the car today. So,
Had you forgotten?
and then I just listened to it and I was like, well, I think the reason I had it low was probably because it's just the most popular one. And I just feel like, as hardcore Rush fans, I don't really know how to phrase this or anything like that, but
It's like saying Tom Sawyer's your favorite Rush song,
yeah, it's like you have to go deep in the catalog to find to prove your Rush fandom or something like that.
Yeah. I don't buy into that.
You don't
Nope.
buy into that?
I don't
think
either, Jerry. I don't
Tom
either.
Sawyer's in my top 10 Rush songs.
Because there's obviously a reason it's one of their most favorite songs ever,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Just because everybody else likes it,
Hey,
That's
all
right.
and I can't like it.
I'm not mad when Tom Sawyer comes on, but
No.
like I hear it more often than not in the same playlist as like
Right.
Don't Stop Believing and Living on a Prayer.
Don't
I'm
insult it now.
like, I'm like,
Yeah,
why are we? There's levels here, and
well,
Right.
like I said
Definitely
last
got
time,
pigeonholed.
in the pool of Rushdom, there's the hits that float up here, and then you dig deeper and deeper.
Right.
I mean, my top 10 list is all deep tracks, except for subdivisions. I mean,
Oh, Subdivision.
and that's not me just trying to dig deep into the catalog. I just like those songs more, But I don't know.
David-
It's just just the one last thing. I had it ranked 5th. I moved it up to 4th. I swapped it with Leave That Thing Alone. But
It's funny
mean,
because if I
don't
had
know.
the time to listen to all these right now, I would change my list. I'm sure.
Do you want to
About-
take a break?
In
And
an
we'll
hour
come
and a
back
half.
in a little bit.
one more thing to say.
See you in 3 days.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Go ahead, Ryan.
About what Nick said about like how like Tom Sawyer's played a lot. I think my mom was in Hawaii and she actually heard, I think, Entre Nous and on radio, A Passage to Bangkok, and Xanadu.
Wow.
So-
Hawaiian radio.
Nick, where do you go to think of YYZ?
Where do I go?
Toronto, of course.
Yeah, planes.
Pittsburgh International Airport.
There you go.
I've seen Rush in Pittsburgh more than any other city too, so it fits. I tell you what, real quick, have all you guys seen? It's a YouTube video of somebody recording the concert, but have you seen when Taylor Hawkins of Foo Fighters had Geddy and Alex come on stage
Yeah.
and play YYZ with them?
Yep.
Yeah,
That was cool, and Taylor did a great job, I thought.
that was good.
Yeah. I heard that after that backstage, Geddy told him he was playing too fast.
I believe that.
He was probably nervous and just kind of got too
Yeah.
hyped.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
One last thing we'll leave this with. In the comments, let us know if how you pronounce it. Do you pronounce it YYZ or YYZ? Personally, I'm American. I pronounce it YYZ, just because, I know it's actually pronounced YYZ as I mentioned, but I pronounce it YYZ because that's how we say the letter Z in America. So just leave a comment if you're American and you pronounce it YYZ, like Alex, not Lifeson, who's not on with us tonight. That's how he pronounces it. But
My husband does too, actually. His
Yeah.
license plate is actually YYZ, like Z.
Love it.
that's pretty cool.
Yes.
I could just picture on like the hockey, just like a Canadian team versus an American team. It's YYZ. No, it's YYZ.
Kate, you'll have to get us a picture. And
The
we'll,
license plate?
Yes.
yeah, we'll
I want to
throw it in
see
the
a
video.
picture.
Sounds like a post to me.
We'll,
Yeah, he
we'll
had
throw
it when he lived in
the video.
Connecticut, and then he got it when he moved to Kentucky as well. So he's had it in 2
Nice.
states.
Cool.
Listen, I've tried every combination of Rush things I could think of for a vanity license plate, and nothing. I could just get nothing. But anyways, that's a topic for another time. So last but certainly not least, which is probably the most favorited song by us. Again, it hasn't left our top 1 or 2 for any of us in this on this video. Well, other than Pat, who's not with us, but
He doesn't
La Villa's.
He's just a
Yeah, he's a
contrarian.
Yeah. La Villa Strangiato. So I wore my Hemisphere shirt for the purpose of this song. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The first time I heard it live was at an outside venue, Saratoga Performing Arts Center in Saratoga Springs, New York. And hearing it at an outdoor venue, in my opinion, made it all that much better. It had like a hint of an echo going throughout the venue, which just made it super cool. But yeah, I also think personally, not only is this my favorite, but I feel like so of course instrumentals don't have lyrics, but I feel like La Villa Strangiato allows you to paint a picture in your head. Of course, it was a dream that Alex had, but it is the best instrumental at kind of painting a picture for you, without lyrics. So what do you guys think?
It's definitely a journey. I feel like I'm taken somewhere.
Yeah.
And the way it ends, it just wraps up the story, pretty abruptly, but it's really the most impressive instrumental I've ever heard in my life. I mean, as far as musicianship
Me
and
too.
creativity, it's number 1, even though it's not on my list right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
when I was making my list, YYZ, La Villa Strangiato, I couldn't really decide.
Yeah,
what-
me either. It's a
Mhm.
total tie. I think it was Mike Portnoy that said, if you could learn that song, that was you were a musician. There is nothing better,
I think Kirk Hamlet said that he, to this day, still can't play that song through.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he said that.
Well, I don't think they could play it through either in the studio. I think they had to
Yeah.
Right.
do it in parts. 'Cause
Yeah.
They couldn't play it all the way through.
they
When my
could.
husband was a senior in high school, he played it on guitar for their talent show, and he won number 1. We have it on
Really?
Yes.
He won first place.
Very nice.
I used to play it in my band. We learned it note by note.
It's an awesome song.
Yeah.
So that song is actually, though, that song kind of gave us Permanent Waves in a sense. Because it was that song that they were like, we can't do this again. Like, we can't
It's an
do
interesting point.
Yeah, and then
Interesting
Permanent
point
Waves,
of view.
Spirit of Radio comes out and you're like, whoa, this is kind of poppy. Like, where did this come from?
Mhm.
After Hemispheres. And it's because Villa, they tried in England where they recorded it, and they couldn't record in one take, and they ended up having to break it up. And that's
Into 3 parts. Yeah.
way too ambitious. We're getting way too aggressive. We got to take it back a notch. So,
Permanent
couldn't-
Waves was like a breath of fresh air for them, I feel like, after how hard Hemispheres was. And it's my favorite album, but
Right.
it's all fantastic. So.
I think that was the last one recorded in England, too.
I thought it was.
I think
I
you're
thought it was in Wales or something.
Something foreign.
The UK,
I
it was
think,
the
I think it was
UK.
Wales. That's
Yeah,
where they,
it's the
they
UK.
spent the
They recorded it all over, but definitely one of the most impressive things I've ever
A
seen.
Farewell to Kings recorded in Wales.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
you're right.
So here it says subtitled "An Exercise in Self-Indulgence." This instrumental combines jazz, fusion, metal, power rock, and other influences the members felt at the time. La Villa means city in Spanish, while Strangiato is made up a fusion of Spanish and Italian to mean strange. The images in the suite titles were inspired by nightmares Alex was having. The fused German-Spanish title of the first section is almost identical to the German song called, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. Yeah, well, I'm not going to read the rest. It's a extremely long paragraph, but yeah, it's almost, in my opinion, they're kind of at this point showing off a little bit, just showing off how talented they were.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Their
For me,
musicianship.
La Villa Strangiato is the sun, and every other instrumental is just circling La Villa
Yeah,
Strangiato.
I agree.
I guess, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It was their most ambitious song, though. It really was. If
Oh,
you
totally.
listen to it, it's. I mean, Hemispheres is longer, but in terms of instrumentation, in terms of pure talent, creativity, I think La Villa is their by far most ambitious song. And again, like I said earlier, that's why they had to take it back a notch afterwards. They just exhaust themselves making it.
And it's a solid song. It's not
yeah.
much conceptual. It's it's a standard track in my head. It's a real song.
It's not about Lambeth or the next
Right, exactly.
great, but it's
Hemispheres with
You're
4
damn right.
songs. 4 songs on Hemispheres, and it's
I get defensive about
Phenomenal.
Fountain of
I
Lamp.
know you do.
I play it in anytime there's a bar jukebox that I can, the touch tunes. Right before I leave, I always play it, so it's the last song. Halfway through, and everybody gets to enjoy the next 10 minutes of Rush.
You're welcome.
You know what I think of when I think of La Via Strangiato is the truss they had on the stage above them that was moving around and flashing. I thought that was so cool during the Time Machine tour.
Oh,
So, Chris, go ahead, Nick.
no, I was just agreeing with him because
So, Chris, so you said prior that you think La Villa and YYZ are right neck and neck, and then Gerry mentioned that La Villa is just kind of head and shoulders above everything else, the sun and everything.
I agree with.
So,
I would agree with Gerry. Yeah.
Chris, what is it?
Well, I think YYZ is Mercury, so it's really close.
All right.
Totally. I love these songs for such totally different reasons. When I hear YYZ, it's like I could hear lyrics to it that don't exist. La Via Strangiato to me is, as a musician, just exemplary as far as categories of what a musician should listen to and aspire to accomplish creatively.
Yeah,
Chris, what instrument do you play?
Drum, guitar, piano, a few things.
Oh yeah, okay, just a few.
But,
And I think that La Via is where Alex really showed his prowess, and just watching him play that whole solo is beyond amazing.
yeah.
I remember when I watched the live version on Rush and Rio, because that's the first Rush concert DVD I ever saw. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I was just completely blown away watching Alex. You're just in absolute awe. It's just so captivating to listen to. It really shows off their prowess as musicians. It, for me, is above all the other instrumentals.
Yeah, I think I love the intro with the build up where it's
Yes.
and then it goes.
It really shows off Alex as a guitar player. Whenever I read these, so I get really defensive of Alex Lyson in terms of whenever I read these top 100 guitar player lists. I mean, I know that's discretionary and they're tough lists to make, but when I don't even see Alex on those lists,
Yeah, I get pissed.
I mean, I guess he's overshadowed by Neil and Geddy just because they're probably,
The
in
best
my
in the
opinion,
world.
the 2 best at their instruments. I mean, I think most people would agree they're top 5, top 10 type of thing, but I get really defensive when I don't see Alex Lifeson on any of those lists, and I think to myself, go back and just listen to La Villa Strangiato, and your mind will be changed.
What does it say? That literally say they can't play his song. Good legitimate musicians, there's songs that this man wrote that they can't play. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Had he been in any other band, would he be considered top 5 all time on these lists that people make up?
he improved a lot of bands.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Ryan Jr.?
The Rolling Stones ranked them, I think not 99, and then they bumped them to 98.
They're like, oh, that La Villa song. Oh yeah, that's good. Bump 1 point.
when they
And then
did that,
Neil Peart was number 4, I think. I think Ginger Baker,
yeah,
like
don't
Green,
even get me started.
Keith Moon from The Who, and then John Bonham was number 1.
Those piss me off. I don't know who makes those lists, but the polka intro to La Via Strangiato during the Time Machine tour, that was one of the coolest.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. But for me, YYZ, not to compare, I'm not comparing because you can't. YYZ is unifying to me. It's the song everybody in the crowd can air drum to or air guitar to, whereas La Via Strangiato, people are like, they don't know what's going on.
So to me, the way I describe those 2 songs, YYZ is an incredible rock song,
Yeah.
Like YYZ's a rock song and Vila is an experience.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
It's a nice way to wrap it up. Yeah.
La Via Strangero takes the cake as a musician goes, but YYZ, I think it's the only mainstream instrumental that I know of. It may not have been played on the radio a ton, but it's definitely mainstream as far as knowledge in the music community.
I disagree. I think La Villa's head and shoulders above.
Yeah, I think so too.
Really?
I think
yeah.
one thing that I like to, really hone in on when I listen to La Villa Strangiato is Neil's hi-hat work.
Yeah, that's
He
That's
he's a master of the hi-hat.
Nice.
Such an over, like usually it's just an accent. He plays it like its own instrument. It is amazing the work that he's playing.
Yeah, as far as abilities for musicians, La Via Strangiato takes the cake. But I think as far as, I don't know.
Accessibility, maybe?
Maybe something like, there's a difference to their, in my head, to their reasonings of importance. But
Well, I think La Vila is the song that you're going to hear at a Rush concert. And all the hardcore fans are going to be like, "Thank God." I think YYZ is the song they play if they ever played the Super Bowl.
right, that's a great way to put it, Nick. Everybody knows YYZ, whereas
good
musicians know La Via Strangiato.
Guitar Hero.
That's a good
Guitar
point.
Hero.
All right. Well, so for the sake of time, as we're pushing 1 hour right now, the longest episode to date by far. So let us know in the comments what you guys think. Let us know what your favorite instrumental is. Let us know the comparison of La Villa Strangiato to YYZ. You know, what you think is better, what your descriptions of each are. I mean, I like Nick's last analogy there, but anyways, thanks for watching this episode of Rush Roundtable, and we'll see you all on episode number 20. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.